The following is a presentation of the NABL.
Welcome to tonight's game. This one's going to be good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
We're underway here in Dallas, Texas. LaShawn Murphy right up.
Here he goes.
He rolls it in.
You know what game is? That's when you play.
He's going to take it all the way. Oh, my goodness gracious.
And it's going to be out of bounds. Oh, great save.
Oh, my goodness. We feel like we can go out and dominate.
Lands it home and closes it out with authority.
That's game. That's game.
Welcome. That is NABL basketball. Well, all right. Wait. If I'm going to do that, we got to do it right. Well, all right. And here we go. 11 weeks down in the North American Basketball League regular season in 2017, and just a few more to go until we hit that postseason in the NABL. Welcome to the official show of record for the NABL. Welcome to the BackCourt. Here with me, Ken Buckner, once again, and while one professional basketball league out there is all done with their season, and it was like zero surprise on who ended up being that league's champion. Baby, we're just getting warmed up here. I mean, who knows who's going to end up wearing the ring and hoisting the trophy when it's all said and done in 2017 in the NABL. Minor League Basketball's biggest stage and most exciting in all of sports. Hey, who knows at this point who's even in the playoffs? Okay, well, I should know some of them. I am being somewhat paid to be the expert in all this. And let that be a lesson to you kids. That'll hold you well in life. Headlines! Yes, the climb to the top of each and every conference is fraught with pitfalls and peril. And yes, I used the word fraught in a sentence. Thank you. You learn so much. We all learn so much on this show. Just when a team gets its hands on the top spot, it seems, well, there it goes. I mean, it's like the kids game that we all used to play. You remember King of the Mountain? And then some kid, usually much meaner and much bigger, comes and kicks you off. Yeah, I wonder where old Zach is these days. It's kind of what I figured. See, kids, bullying is bad. Again, we learned so much. Okay, first headline, rings. Well, ring-a-ding-ding, baby. The reigning 2016 NABL champions, the Atlanta Show, they got their rings on their hands for their championship season a year ago. This past weekend, they came in, they're wearing them. A nice little reminder of that perfect 13-0 season from 2016. And what better way, honestly, to spur your team along for this year's Road to the Championship Series, which, by the way, will be held, it just so happens, in Atlanta, Georgia. The Show, fresh off a 124-111 victory over the visiting Birmingham Vulcans, now 9-1 on this 2017 season, already have locked up the top seed in the East and their division and a first-round bye in the playoffs. So, yeah, things certainly clicking again for the Men of Steel, the Atlanta Show, who will take on Savannah and the still playoff hopeful Cavaliers this weekend. Watch out, as always, for the juggernaut that is the Show, who now have a little extra bling in their step. Rollin'. The Show aren't the only team and division leaders that are just rolling through the competition. Winners of 7 straight, the Huntsville Force are just about ready to call the Eastern's Northern Division their own. But they need to win over the Panama City Piranhas this weekend, and they got to do something about those pesky Southern Illinois Pharaohs, who are not only close in the standings, but honestly, the Pharaohs could still outright win the division if they win out on their schedule. We shall see. Yes, though the Bible teaches us that revenge in life is a double-edged sword, in basketball, it's kind of a beautiful thing. especially when the top spot in the Western Conference is involved, as it was Saturday, when the West-leading San Antonio Lions traveled to DFW to take on the second-place United. Now, just 2 weeks before, the Lions had won over DFW on San Antonio's home turf, but now it was the United's turn. And outside of a few scares early and then a late push by the Lions in this game, the United cruised to a 120-107 win to take the top spot outright in the Western Conference. Quite a season and quite a game, and we now go quite to the guest on the backcourt. Well, it's sort of tradition on the backcourt to have this gentleman on. We've had him every single year as a guest of this show. So thrilled and happy to welcome on big man from the DFW United, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Keenan Gaskin. Good to see you, Keenan.
What's up, man? Finally. Somebody calls my text messages, my death threats. You finally answer. And I'm here.
You've been lobbying, I'll admit, a little bit to get on the show, but rightly so, man. It is tradition, and it's really neat because you have the distinction of being the only player in NABL history to play with 3 different clubs within the NABL. The Hoyas, the Warriors last year, and the United this year. Now, let's focus on this year. You seem to be playing your best ball right now that I've ever seen you play, Keenan, with the United. Talk about your current team, the dynamic, the chemistry, and your head coach, Kim Green.
Man, it's just, and you got a whole bunch of guys that are just hungry and all got one thing in common, which is trying to win a championship. Not worried about points, not worried about who gets the ball, man. Everybody is just collectively playing together. It's more than basketball. It's a brotherhood, and we discussed that early in the year. We had Wade talks before tryouts. We've been discussing, man. We got to come together and win. And then Coach Green, she believed in me, man, because when I came back to Texas, man, I was almost 250 pounds, and now I'm probably like 232 pounds. I lost so much weight because she really took the time out to work with me day in and day out. She stayed on me constantly. My teammates stayed on me constantly, and I knew that this year was going to be my year. I invested in myself so much. I put in so much work outside of basketball and on the court as well. So, man, it's a blessing to be at the situation that we are right now, especially everything that I've been through, to just overcome so much adversity within these past couple of years, being with different teams. And to be with this team, man, I'm very humbled. I'm just glad to be in the situation I'm at right now.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to watch, man. It's been a powerhouse type season for your United. Now sole leaders in the Western Conference, as we said, at 9-2 after the big Saturday 120-107 win over the now second place Lions. Go ahead, take us back and take us through that game and what being in the conference lead now means to you guys.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. That morning when I woke up, I just had a great feeling. I'm like, man, I know we're gonna do what we're supposed to do, man. Because when we went down there, it was a hostile environment. They had their fans and they were playing their best basketball. And I knew that we were missing some guys, and I'm like, I know some of these guys are hungry. They're ready to play. When we first played, they came out 7-0 run. I'm like, oh my God, they're ready. But I knew that I'm like, man, once we get a point, once we get a bucket in, man, we'll start doing what we're supposed to do. And then we lock down on defense and, find their best player in Eric, who's a great, phenomenal scorer. He's a great athlete. But we found ways to make it kind of hard for him to score. And we also did our thing in rebounding and executing on offense as well. So it was a really, really great game. I say it's one of our best basketball games because we actually lock down and play defense because that's what we knew that we had to do that in order to win the game, because those guys are great, phenomenal players. But we did what we were supposed to do. We wanted it. We wanted to be first place. We knew we were number one, and we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah, you totally took away the San Antonio perimeter game, which they live and die by the 3-ball. And it just was fairly non-existent for the most part throughout the contest. And I want to throw into, you went coast to coast there in the last couple of minutes, man. It was Keenan Gaskin, Allen Iverson style, man, at 6'8". That was some nice moves.
Man, Yeah, man, I'm in the gym every day working on my handles, man. I mean, I can dribble, but I know it. I need to be a lot more better, man. And I'm just like, man, I need to try to put myself in situations to get better at handling. I didn't expect to do it at all. When I tell you, I did not expect to do it. I just had the ball, and he committed to me. I just spent. I'm like, okay, somebody come get it. Please come get the ball. And I saw. I'm like, okay, well, it's showtime.
There you go. There you go, man. I like it. I like it. You could run the point next week. How about let's just keep that up? Speaking of next week, you have this weekend off, but you're technically already in the playoffs. That's the good news. But the number one seed's still very much up for grabs in the West. In fact, technically, even the Hoyas in the fourth spot could jump up in some way. But that regular season finale, bringing up Dallas versus the rival Hoyas on the 25th, a rematch of that overtime thriller that, we have to go back to. I know how it ended, but it could have been double overtime. Your thoughts, how do you use a moment like that?
Man, that game right there, man, was just it opened the light for me. Because after that game, I just been on a roll, and I knew that if I kept thinking about it, it was just gonna bring me down. It was gonna bring me down. But my teammates, Darius Howard, Thad, Jason, they lifted me up. They just said, "Hey, man, you have nothing to worry about. You played your heart out. Don't worry about that game." And I always, and I talk to my fiance all the time. I'm just like, man, that game just really triggered me, man. I feel like if I would have done something different, we would have won. She was like, don't worry about it. You'll play him again. You'll play him again. So every game I play, I treat it as like I'm playing the Hoyas. Every single game. I'm like, okay, just preparing, because I know how they're going to come. They're probably one of the biggest teams I've ever played against. They got like 3'16", 6'11", and I'm by myself. But now I got a twin. And then the 6'10" guy, Seth himself, who was like my mentors, man. He stays in my ear. He tells me, hey, don't worry about nothing, man. You just go out and you just play hard. Don't listen to the fans. Don't listen to things that are distractions. Just stay focused. And I think that's going to be the key to us winning against the Hoyas is just staying focused, staying locked in. We know it's a rivalry game. We can't let our emotions get the best of us. We have to play together as a team because we know if we try to go out and just perform based on emotions, is not going to happen because that's the type of team they are. They're very fire, get in your face, try to get you frustrated type team. But we have to just stay focused and relax, and we got it.
All right, so with the Hoyas game to finish the regular season coming up a week from this upcoming Sunday, then after that, the playoffs. I mean, what must the United do to break that from last year, the opening round loss, which subsequently against the Hoyas, who else, of course, at that point, but to make this postseason push and all the way into Atlanta?
I think we just have to play United basketball. There are times where we kind of flake out and get out of our comfort zone and just kind of relax, But we just need to play complete United basketball the whole 4 quarters, and that's something that I know we can do because we've done it before. And we've been dreaming about this since day one. We talked about going to Atlanta, man. This is our year. This is our time. We've been through so much adversity, losing players, gaining players. Even with Darius had a situation in San Antonio where he passed out. We just had a lot going on, man. And we had injuries after injuries. And we somehow are overcoming adversity, man. I think it's just us believing in ourselves and believing that God has a way of putting us in situations, man. And we always said, man, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And we started out strong, and we're going to finish strong as well. And I know that we have what it takes to get to Atlanta. And as the leader and as captain of the team, I'm not going to let us go down. Like we're going out without a fight. We're going to win every game, and we're going to make it to Atlanta. And I'm just ready to see the teams in Atlanta because I know it's going to be a great experience for us. And I just believe we got what it takes to win it all.
They run the gauntlet, and they're 9-2 at this point, and then they'll finish off the regular season a week from Sunday against Dallas. My friend, one of our best guests, it's tradition, and we will keep it up. And see, I told you I was going to get you on the backcourt this year.
I had to rough you up Saturday. Hey, look, I told you we were going to win. Get me on this show so everybody can see. United, we are coming. You're like the fight in the season, but hey, I'm here. We here to stay.
There he is, Keenan Gaskin from the DFW United. Good to see you, man. Be blessed. So the United now lead the way in the West, but it's still far from done, folks. In 2 weeks, they take on the Hoyas, who find themselves rebounding back. Yeah, a third straight win seems to have signaled that the Dallas Hoyas have righted that ship. And Saturday's 158 to 115 shellacking of the Houston Wolverines seems to also indicate the Hoyas are in control of that fourth playoff spot in the West, and they want more. 158 points. It just got downright stupid at the end. It really did. I was there. 4 games are still on the schedule for Dallas, okay, which means that even the top spot is still mathematically in reach for the Hoyas. And in a game where 158 points, I just got to say it again, were scored. Well, yeah, you got to know that one of our Week 11's NABL Western Conference Player of the Week was in there somewhere, and that in the form of D.K. Eldridge, who had a big game. Also, a big congrats to our other Week 11 NABL Players of the Week, Savannahs' Antoine Albright, his second time, by the way, earning that honor this season. He came in with 32 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. That's a long stat line, well earned, in the Savannah win over the Music City Kings, and in the 123-101 Tacoma Thunder victory over the Quad City Flames. Well, congratulations to Jamil Sharif. 34 points in that one, including 10 three-pointers, which means he scored 2 field goals that were not from behind the arc. I can do math, and that all adds up to, oh, wow. Congrats. Now back to Dallas. One of those rebound games for the aforementioned Hoyas came against, and with a slight side of revenge to it, the Alamo City Aztecs. Now, the Aztecs, who were actually off this past weekend, but are back at it and looking to rebound themselves, head to Faraday, Louisiana to face the very formidable 6-2 Micellar Warriors. Now, Micellar, by the way, well, they're going to have the first time this season the free agent acquisition guard LaShawn Murphy, who we told you about a couple of weeks ago leading up to the trade deadline, right here had him on the backcourt for you. So, with LaShawn Murphy in the fold in Miss Lou, watch out, Western Conference for the Warriors. But the Aztecs, fear not, and we judge that fear by looking straight in their eyes, or lack thereof. Right now, let's go down to San Antonio. Well, it's been more than just a successful first year, not only in the NABL, guys, but inaugural year as a franchise, and you as an owner, Ryan, with a lot of basketball still left to be played, all right? Look back just for a moment at this point. Give us your perspective on year number 1 of the Aztecs and being in the NABL.
I think as far as regular season goes, we're still trying to find our footing. Like you said, it's a first-year organization. We're an expansion team. And so as far as where we're at, we're a little behind where we wanted to be. But with where we're going to finish, we're very confident. We're very confident where we're going to finish, and we'll be happy with where we end up. We're fighting for a playoff spot, so as an expansion team in a professional sport in year 1, I think that says a lot for where we are. Yeah. And it's just about growing each year, growing and getting better each year. So we're very happy overall with where we're at.
Very good. Ryan Johnson, of course, here forward, founder and owner, general manager as well. I think you even pick up like some of the T-shirts and stuff after the game to clean up. I mean, you pretty much do everything.
A little bit.
and that's not just by necessity. That's also, man, you're willing to put the work in. You guys, as a franchise, have started this since well into season 1 of the NABL. I mean, way before you were ever a franchise, too. And you're there with one of your players, Dan Horvath, as well, too. Number 25, you may see, also known as Diesel, which we're going to get to that, by the way. Don't think I'm going to let that go unchecked. But, Ryan, I mean, it's a dangerous question. Is it everything you thought it would be?
No. I mean, when you get started, you kind of have your vision. And you want to follow that vision and follow that path, but I think with anything in life, no one can control the future. So kind of have to meander that and work your vision into what is reality. So that been a challenge at times to get the two to drive together. But like I said earlier, we're happy with where we're at. We're happy with the direction that we're going.
Yeah.
We've got players that we're setting up after the season to get overseas. We have a tremendous platform here in San Antonio, and because of the NABL, the platform that we've been given. So we're looking to build upon that as years go on.
Well, Alamo City, I mean, you guys have had some substantial wins. I mean, I think just right off the top of my head, the first ever franchise win against who else? The Dallas Hoyas. I mean, the reigning Western Conference champions. But you were on a bit of a run until dropping the last two, which was a tough DFW road trip, no matter who was going to play that two stretch of games. No shame in that. But as you said, still very much in the chase for that fourth and final spot in the playoffs in the Western Conference. You need a little help to do that, and you need to reel off some pretty big wins on this winning streak. Talk about this stretch coming up.
We've got 3 games left. We go to Micellar to play the Warriors this Saturday, and then we come home for a 2-game homestand where we host the Wolverines from Houston, and Micellar comes out to visit us for the season finale. We win those 3. We win out. We end up 7-5, and we're looking at the scoreboards essentially on the final day to see if we get in or not. 7-5. Is a pretty solid record for an expansion team, like we said earlier. Not exactly where we want it to be, but it's nothing to hang our head about. We're very proud of where we're at, what we're building, and like you said, when you have to go up to Dallas and play teams like the Hoyas or the United, those are tough teams. And we hung in there. We came back from a 27-point deficit against the United, got it down to 2 points, but just couldn't get over that hump. But I think that says a lot about our team and the tenacity we have to fight back against a 27-point lead against a tough team like that.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to switch over to Dan. Okay, first of all, Dan, from your perspective, being a part of this first-year franchise, being under the tutelage of Shad Williams as head coach and Ryan as not only your teammate but also the owner of the team too. Tell us about what it has been like to be an Aztec.
It's been amazing. It's a lot different than what I expected it to be. But it's been a blessing. I mean, I love my teammates. Of course, Ryan and Shad have been great helping me through this whole process of the next level basketball. But like I said, it's a different animal. I got a little bit of work to do, but I'm ready for it.
Very good. All right. I know your nickname's Diesel. Where did that come from?
So back in high school, we had one guy on our team that was notorious for not making sprints and make us do it all over again. So about 6-7 times in, I'm still full gas finishing first. And my coach said, well, y'all need to start running like Dan. And one of my teammates was like, well, he never runs out of field. He's a diesel train. And from there, it kind of stuck. Everybody just started calling me Diesel from then on out.
Very cool. Well, cool nickname. I can't tell you some of the nicknames I have, and it didn't originate from anything as cool as that. So
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Very good. All right. Now Ryan, off last weekend, but yeah, back at it, as you said, on the road versus the Micellar Warriors. Some say that's the hardest road trip to take in the NABL. What do your Aztecs specifically need to do to stay in that conversation for the postseason and ultimately come out with a win?
It's probably a bit of a cliche in sports, but they have to stick together. The moment a team disintegrates and starts playing one-on-one basketball, you have no chance. And that's sometimes easier said than done. If you get down, it doesn't come from a selfish place, but often, and this is for any team, players want to put that team on their back or their team on their back to try and carry that load. Basketball isn't tennis, it's not swimming, it's not bowling, it's a team sport. So we have to come together. So when the going gets tough, we have to dig deep and look at each other, to rely on our brothers, rely on our teammates to overcome that adversity. If we can do that, we have a very, very strong and talented roster. Very, very disciplined, very athletic. Probably the most athletically gifted team I've ever been on. Played up through college, been around the world, and to me personally, this is the most talented team I've ever been a part of. So our challenges come in relying on each other and not wanting to take over that load, take on that burden, one person alone to do that. So if we can come together this weekend and the last 2 games, I think the Aztecs will be very successful.
Well, it's certainly making it very, very interesting, and you're the guys that have been throwing the wrenches through to throw it into that cog that has kind of been coming up what was supposed to have happened. My preseason rankings have totally been shot, you know. And that's awesome, too, because that's the NABL. That's part of the beauty of this league. So, before I let you go, and you touched on it briefly, Aztecs very big in the community. As a first-year squad, I mean, you guys have entrenched yourself in the San Antonio, not just city, but area. Tell us a little bit about why that is so important to you and the franchise.
Well, I think for anybody, Dan, myself, and any of our teammates on the Aztecs, you grow up and you look at professional athletes. And for me, I always kind of felt those guys were unattainable. You could never reach out to them. You could never connect to them. And I felt that with the Aztecs, we want to be a team that represents our community and is out there daily and weekly and monthly and yearly. You know, we want people to know that we're here and we care. Dan has been a great ambassador of that for our team. Anytime we ask for an event or that an event comes up, he's one of the first people to raise his hand. So I think that speaks volumes to how involved our players are in the community, how much they care. There's no financial incentive, there's no financial reward. It's something from within that they want to be a part of. That speaks volumes for who our players are.
Well, it speaks volumes throughout the league, and certainly, I know, to the community at large, too. And all those kids, it's just so awesome to see, man. And much success has already been achieved by your club. We're so thrilled to have you in this league and excited to see where it goes. Heck, just this upcoming weekend, let alone down the road and in the future.
Yes, sir. Well, we're very appreciative.
All right, they take on the Micellar Warriors this Saturday. It is Ryan Johnson, Dan Horvath, Diesel from the Alamo City Aztecs. Appreciate the time, guys, and welcome. Appreciate you being here on the BackCourt. Talk about a team in the NABL who have racked up some frequent flyer miles, so much so that they probably get to hang out in that really cool first-class area on the plane. So that's what happens behind the curtain. Never been up there. No pants. All right. The Kitsap Admirals is who we're talking about. And the Admirals have not only secured a firm hold on the lead in the West Coast Conference, but they have had quite the season in both states of North America, for crying out loud, okay? Not only the U.S., but in Canada and beyond, coming back from a huge international tour in China. And then in August, after the NABL season ends, are going to head back on the plane and all the way over to Lithuania. Can you point out Lithuania on a map? I cannot either. We hope they can, or at least their pilot can. So, the Kitsap Admirals, they are undefeated at this point. And if they win this weekend, the conference in the West Coast, flat out, simply put, you got to love simple math like this, it's theirs, the top spot. But there's much more to know with our final headline. The road continues here at the waning moments of the NABL's regular season, and with the NABL playoffs kicking off July 8th, the fight to get in is quite fierce and kind of weird. I don't even know what that is. Again, here are the teams we want to remind you that are no longer, because it's easier to know who's not in. Here are the teams no longer within reach of the postseason. Yep. But everybody else, even after last weekend, still has a shot. Now, let's go to the East. The East is locked up by the Atlanta Show, number one seed in the entire conference and already winners of the Southern Division. But both Savannah and even Panama City, good for you, Piranhas, well, they're scurrying to fill the rest of those spots. In the East Northern Division, well, as we said, the Force are still in the clutches of the Pharaohs. That's a tight race, and that division won't be decided until, well, not this, but next weekend. Now, the West Coast is almost the Admirals to have, like we said, but they have to take down the Battle in a weekend rematch this Saturday to clinch fully, while Tacoma's pretty much in that second spot at this point. Still, the Flames and the Battle, well, those two, Quad City and SB, are battling for the final playoff spot to be had in the West Coast. Now, for the Western Conference, let's all take a big, deep breath. Out through the mouth, in through the nose, out mouth. A little lightheaded. It's a bit nutty in the West. Yes, so I enlisted some help to sort it out. Not that. My assistant on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Gets paid better than I do. After the big win over San Antonio, the DFW United, yes, they sit atop that mountain that is the Western Conference. Now, in no way do they have a lock on the top spot at this point. In fact, mathematically, the Lions, Warriors, and even the Hoyas, who are in that fourth spot, can still wind up the conference number one. But the United and then second place Lions, they're without a doubt in the playoffs, so they can sleep a little better at night. And that we do know, and makes us sleep a little better too, so we don't have to think as much. The Warriors, the Hoyas, the Aztecs, they are all still in the mix for the final two playoff spots in the Western Conference. The Warriors have the edge, obviously, at 6-2, but they still have 4 games to play within the conference. The Hoyas, well, they're in fourth, and they could be cut out by the fifth place Aztecs. But as you heard, Alamo City will need a lot of help and win some really tough ones to stay in the contest. A lot's going to be sorted out this weekend, but before we get to Week 12's preview and picks, news!
And no, not fake news. Absolutely not.
MVP. The NABL's 2017 Most Valuable Player race is still underway, but your chance to help decide who wins the MVP is closing. In fact, voting ends this weekend on which of these magnificent 7 will be presented the hardware at the NABL's end-of-year banquet. So, use the power that has been given to you, NABL fans. And vote online, okay? NABLbasketball.com. In fact, right where you're at right now. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility. I'm just saying. Also a reminder, while the 19 teams of the NABL have to run the gauntlet of an entire regular season and then the postseason, fighting on the court each other like gladiators just to get a spot in Atlanta for the 2017 NABL Championship Series happening July 28th and 29th. Well, all you have to do is buy a ticket. No gauntlet running. Doesn't seem fair, does it? Well, it's one of the perks of being an NABL fan like you are, and you can get all you need for the championship series once again, July 28th, 29th in Atlanta. We're talking tickets, hotel deals, all on this site. Where you're at, right here. Just go up there, championship, click on that. NABLbasketball.com. Okay. Entering the 12th week of the 2017 NABL season. Here we go. Oh, quick update on how we did on last week's picks. You can probably tell by the tone of my voice. Yeah, we bad. We good. We perfect. 6-0 last week, ladies and gentlemen. I know. Thank you. Thank you. Nobody's clapping. Why aren't you clapping? You people should be clapping. You've been a very silent studio audience this week. Well, okay. It brings our season total in KB's picks to 38-11. Yeah. So we head into Week 12's picks and preview with no fear whatsoever. Wow, that's a flashback to 1997. I think I had that shirt. Okay, well, let's flash forward and let's begin this thing. 7 games to come this Father's Day weekend. And by the way, happy Early Dad's Day to all the baby daddies out there, all right? All games going down on Saturday, okay? No Sunday Father's Day games. But most of these games have severe postseason implications. So we begin with the Dallas Hoyas traveling on the road at the San Antonio Lions. This game at San Antonio, and it's a rematch of the May 6th nail-biter in Dallas that was the 127-125 Lions upset win. Well, for San Antonio, here's the deal. They must win to keep pace with the United to try to claim back that number 1 seed in the Western Conference. The Lions have 2 games left in their regular season schedule. The Hoyas need to win to stay a step ahead of the Aztecs, but even that wouldn't rule out a postseason berth. Frankly, here's the deal, all right? The Lions weren't the Lions when they played DFW last weekend. That outside shot of theirs that they live and die by, the 3-ball, wasn't there. It never materialized. And that's their game. So can the Lions get back into the swing of things? On the flip side, the Hoyas, they're on a roll finally. Winners of their last 3. Big second half team the Hoyas have always been. A lot riding on this one. And with this game in San Antonio, you know me, I usually favor the home team. But with the bench really kicking in for Dallas as of late, the chemistry is there. You can see where I'm going with this. I'm going to take the Hoyas in what would be considered an upset over the Lions at this point. Though, don't be shocked, once again, if I'm dead wrong. This is going to be a really good one to watch. NABL Live.com. You can see the game right here. We stream them all. Also, with playoff implications in the West Coast Conference, the leading Kitsap Admirals are hosting this time the SB Battle. Now, just last weekend, yes, Kitsap took down the battle. This game in Canada. The translation. They're a foreign country. Anyway, the battle fell to the Admirals, but it was a closer one than we expected, 118-112. And with home court on the Admirals side, well, I take Kitsap to get another victory. Give me the Admirals, and with this win, that would cement and clinch Kitsap's number 1 seed in the West Coast Conference. To Panama City, a lovely vacation destination. But Huntsville is not going there on a summer break to enjoy the sand and surf. Though they should, and go down to Billy's that's right there on the wharf. It's just, not a paid endorsement. The Force must take down the Panama City Piranhas to stay a step ahead of the whole Southern Illinois Pharaohs Force chase. And while Panama City themselves are fighting with Savannah to make the playoffs, give me the Force in this one to win their 8th straight. Back to the West, and oh, baby. 6-2 Miss Lou hosting 4-5 Alamo City. Alamo City's a good road team, by the way. They're a good team, period. Alamo City, though, has to win this game. Now, they're not completely shut out of the postseason if they don't win, but it's going to be a pretty narrow path to any sort of postseason dreams for the Aztecs if they fall to the Warriors on Saturday. Now, for the Miss Lou Warriors, they still haven't clinched a playoff spot officially yet, but they would if they win this weekend. So both teams, you talk about a lot to play for. Oh, yeah, and as we said, big free agent acquisition. LaShawn Murphy makes his first ever appearance as a member of Miss Lou. So it would be a shock, yes, not to take Miss Lou at home with the added weapons in their arsenal. Give me the Warriors to defend home court against the Aztecs. Now, back to the East, unless the Atlanta Show are actually wearing their new championship rings while they try to dribble the ball, I don't see the Show falling to Savannah. Though it is always a fun one when these two Georgia teams and rivals tangle up. This game is in Savannah, but, give me the Show. Also, I will take, and watch this, I'll take the Music City Kings to beat the Birmingham Vulcans. Kings out of the postseason at this point. But this pick, shocking? I don't know. And I'm also going to take Houston to earn their 2nd season win over Austin. All right, you tell me what you think. Your opinions matter far more than mine. Your insight, you're on the ground level. You tell me, NABL fans. All you have to do is email me if you like. Ken Buckner at NABLbasketball.com. Can I sit up again? Ouch. Or go over there, right over there, and you can just fill all that stuff out. It's very cool. All right. Remember, you can see all of these big Saturday Showdown games live as they happen, as the NABL, the only minor league to stream every game live for you. You can check that out right off the homepage coming up on Saturday. Opening tip-off, nablbasketball.com. And that does it for this week. We got through. Nobody was harmed in the making of this production, I think. Well, anyway, thanks so much to all of our guests that appeared this week. We were going to talk to head coach Ashley Robinson of the Kitsap Admirals. Something came up, a bit of an emergency. Everybody's cool, but want to thank him still, too. We're going to get him on next week's BackCourt, all right? Week number 12 kicks off Saturday. Happy Father's Day. Mean that absolutely in earnest to all the dads out there, all right? And, hey, to all the women that support him, for crying out loud. There's no us without you. Happy Father's Day weekend. Happy week 12. We'll catch you back on lucky week number 13. Till then, I'm Ken Buckner. You are you. This is the BackCourt on the NABL Network.